so I'm back up in the mountains. I'm up in North Georgia, Appalachian Trail, heading that way. Trailhead is Dix Creek Gap. This will be the first hike I've been on in over a year due to all my cardiovascular issues, which hopefully are now solved. So David's already up here. He came up last night and hiked for about 4 miles into a shelter. And I told him just to hang tight. I'm going to get here early and hike in and catch up to him. So that's the plan. It's 7:30 in the morning. I got up at, left noon at 5. So I'm almost to the trailhead, and I'm going to hike into him. And then we'll go another at least 4 miles today to get to the North Carolina border. So that's the plan. We're praying that my body says, yes, we're still good at this hiking thing and we're not gonna die. All right, on the AT, got on the Dix Creek Gap, already up one big climb. I think the difference in the AT and the PCT, at least the JMT part of it, when you go up on the JMT and Sierras, it's like a all day 5, 6, 7 mile up with some steep parts. A lot of it's gradual too. I mean, it's not easy and there's steep, but here when you go up, you freaking go up. So up down. I should be David in an hour or so. Big Bear and Bypass. In the rain.
In the rain, waiting on a shuttle. And I guess this is our second training hike for next year, because we did one about 3 weeks ago.
In the rain.
In the rain. With bears. Enough bear that I brought bear spray. So hopefully we'll make it out alive.
In the rain.
In the rain.
All right, back on the AT, back to where we left off pretty much at Blue Ridge Gap Road, heading up towards the North Carolina-Georgia border, and Bly Gap where we stopped last time, turned around. So we're gonna try to get past that. The car is parked up at Deep Gap, which is probably about 8 more miles maybe. So we'll see. It's raining, terrible weather. So we just went through a squall, got a little wet. Everything's a little wet. But we're doing fine. Excuse my finger there. A little wet out here. We're just gonna kind of see how far we can get in this rain. The border should be up here in just a minute. Hey! Yeah. Steep, wet, typhoon. Great idea, Dave. Let's go hiking. Let's go hiking today. Okay, we got up to the top of that little climb up from Bly Gap. It's steep. Probably about 7/10 of a mile, but it's straight up steps. Now we're gonna drop down just a hair. Then we go back another steep climb and then drop down to Sassafras Gap, where there's a shelter somewhere up there that we may have to stay in since the wind and the rain is so bad. Literally soaking wet. Can't really tell on camera, but it's wet. But it's what we expected, so not surprised. How you doing, Dave?
Awesome.
Big bear, big wet bear.
Big bear's wet and cold.
Big bear, big wet bear.
Big wet bear, big wet heavy bear.
Okay. This is what hiking the AT in November in a rainstorm is. We're pretty wet. I'm really hoping that my pack cover is working because I have my down quilt that if it's wet, I'm gonna be snuggling with Big Bear. So hopefully it'll be all right. Top of this ridge before we drop down and then go back up again.
Got a little more, almost a little more than 2 miles to our shelter. Good ride.
Mile and a half.
What you doing, Ken?
I got my wet socks.
This is our lovely home. Rat infested home, but it's dry. It is dry.
All right, still AT northbound. Stayed at the muskrat shelter last night in the rain with about 6 or 7 other people. And now we're about to come out at Deep Gap where we left the Jeep. And we'll be done with this little part in the rain. The Big Bear. Big Bear? All right, time for a 4-hour drive home, followed by a hot shower.